Dr. Nemo.
Hi.
Yeah, so our word today is my new podcast series called Afar.
So excited about it.
Thank you for this very excitement. You can see from that camera, this excitement is about a lot of equipments around this room. There are so many, this very bright light and this dope monitor and yeah, the best light setting. So let's get to it. Dr. Nemo.
I'm a bit intimidated by your head, but it's gonna.
Because it's too big.
Where should I look? Should I look at your panda head, or should I look into your real eyes?
It's your own choice. Just like I would also look into this octopus eyes as well. So.
I never gave it a name. I should give it a name. Okay. Well, I try to look at you in your eyes. Okay.
It's alright.
Okay.
Alright, I'll set a timer so that I know. Okay, then introduce yourself to the audiences.
Your audience. Hello, hi. I'm Dr. Nemo. I am an educational content creator online, on YouTube in particular. I'm trying Instagram and TikTok. I have a hard time adapting to that the new media, but
because people are not deep enough there.
Yeah, I think it's a very different type of format, and very vertical, very short, very to the point. And you know, I like to talk about science and biology on my YouTube channel, and I kind of feel like it takes time to go in the details of things, and sometimes just talking about biology or certain concept in less than 1 minute is very hard for me.
Yeah.
And I'll already condensate a lot of information in like 10-minute video, and so doing it in one minute video is a bit hard. But yeah, I'm also a PhD student in neuroscience. That is actually my actual real job, and the content creation is more something on the side, but I would like my future to go in that direction at a certain point. It would be cool to do this as a living, essentially. Yeah.
Right. So you sound like a very serious person in your profession and would like to share the knowledge as extensively as you can, right? That's why 1 minute is not enough. Don't worry, our podcast today will also be more than 1 minute.
That's what I like.
All right. Then Afar is a series that I realized a lot of us, I'm from China, couldn't go home during COVID time. And for us, our hometown suddenly became so far away because we normally go home at least once a year. And then by talking to a lot of international friends, I realized actually not everyone would go home every year. So Afar has different meanings to everyone. So yeah, then let's start our talk today with a speed Q&A. First,
Q&A.
You gotta be
I didn't
quick.
study.
And then we'll of course go to the very, very deep in the soul talk.
I'm ready.
Okay, I just need to be prepared now.
Yeah. Drink your vitamin C.
All right, okay. I just need to look at my cheat sheet. Where's your hometown? Cut! Where's your hometown?
I don't really have a hometown. So
Okay.
I moved a lot. I was born in Belgium. And then can I tell you my life?
Of course.
Am I oversharing already?
Of course, yeah. Okay, let's cut this big Q&A. Go to the deep talk already. Yeah.
Sorry.
Where were you born?
Yeah, so I was born close to Brussels in Belgium. And a bit like you, I also have some Asian origin. So my mom is from China. My father is Belgian nationality, but then we have origins from a bit everywhere in Western Europe. Some French and German and Spanish influence. But yeah, when I was 11, we moved to Italy. So I lived in Sicily, in a little city called Modica.
Modica, I don't know.
60,000 people are living there.
Okay.
And then I did middle school and high school there. And then I moved to the south of France for university, where I studied marine ecology and biology.
Oh, that's where you had contact with octopus.
It is where I fell in love with cephalopods, mollusks.
Sorry, how do I spell it?
Cephalopods, CEPHALOPOD.
Oh, cephalopods.
Yeah. So the meaning of it is cephalo means head, and poda from Greek it means feet. Because when you look at a cephalopod, you essentially have the illusion of looking at a head with a lot of feet.
Yeah.
Right? So octopuses, squids, and cuttlefish, for example, are cephalopods. Those are the animals that I study, and it's also they're part of a series of videos I make on my own YouTube channel. So it was in the south of France, and you're totally right, where I met an octopus in real life for the first time, and where I started getting interested in them, and it was pretty cool, pretty dope.
Nice.
Yeah, and then I moved to the US a couple of times, so I have some family there in California, but also studied a bit in Massachusetts, close to Boston.
Nice.
And then I found a PhD here in Frankfurt in Germany. So
when did you came here?
Almost 5 years ago, 2018.
Damn, that's long.
That's a long time. And now I'm feeling like, ooh, it's been a long time. I need to move. I need to go to another place. Almost,
oh, really? That's how you feel?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not because I don't like the city. It's just that I've been moving
change.
all the time, and now I'm like, I need to be dynamic and to change again.
So it'll feel foreign to you if you stay in one place for too long, right?
Yeah, a little bit. So when you ask me where my hometown is, then I say I don't know. Like all the places I have been to are somehow hometown, but then usually a hometown is like one place, right?
Right, yeah.
And for me, it's many places, and every time I move to a place, I kind of feel like, oh, this is my new home, right? And so, but yeah. I have my parents now living in Belgium. My main activity, my main life is happening here in Frankfurt.
Right.
So where is technically my hometown? I don't know. Most of my life I lived in the south of Italy. I don't go there very much, but...
Not anymore.
No, like my parents were living there with me, obviously, when I was a kid.
Yeah.
But then when I moved to university, they stayed there 4 more years because my sister was still studying in high school there. But then as soon as she finished and went to university, also outside Italy, they went back to Belgium, where I was born.
Why did they leave at the first place to Sicily?
So...
The Italian.
Yeah. So
mafia.
Yeah, we don't talk about that. we can. No, essentially, my father.
Mafia is calling me. So in China, if you want to sneeze, somebody's thinking about you.
Oh.
Yeah. Sorry.
So you're on the list of mafia now.
Okay.
So, at a certain point, in life, my father. Retired. He had like a pre-retirement, so it was a pretty good deal for 8 years. I think he would continue to be paid something like 5 or 8 years.
Oh yeah, mafia.
And he could move to any place in the European Union. And we're living in Belgium, and Belgium is not very sunny. And
makes sense.
Both my parents they have lived before in places that were a bit sunnier, and then they asked the kid and everything. And we just went for the south, the sea, and the sun.
Nice.
I have to say that I have half siblings, so my father is pretty old. He was born in 1948, and so he's like 75.
5 now, yeah.
Right. And he had a family before us, so I have half siblings, and their mother was Italian from Sicily. So that's kind of like the link. So when we went to live in Sicily, we were closer to my brother, essentially.
Nice. How old were you again? Like
11.
11.
11 to 19.
So
19.
You need to pick up Italian like from 11 years old.
Yeah.
With Sicilian accent.
Oh yeah. So
Whenever I mention it, my nose gets itchy. Sorry.
yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
But I don't remember. I think it was 1 month or a couple of weeks before going to Italy. My mom sat down with me and we started reading books to, learn a little bit of vocabulary and grammar.
Okay.
But then I arrived there and I barely spoke Italian. But people, there were not a lot of foreigners around, and people were super curious about me.
Yeah. Okay.
And it was very easy for me to feel integrated in the community.
That's nice,
and people were like teaching me all the bad words, obviously. And I caught up with that quite easily. My sister didn't learn anything before going there. She was 7 years old.
Okay.
And so they just like dropped her in school.
That's
Yeah, the first few months were tough, I think, for her. She was apparently crying a lot and stuff. But she was a kid. She didn't speak, right?
Yeah.
And then slowly she started learning, and and after a few months, speaking Italian.
Of course.
When you're a kid, it's very easy to
Right.
your brain is like a sponge,
So how many languages do you speak now?
So I speak 3 fluently. I do understand Sicilian. So
you wouldn't count the Sicilian as your fluent language?
No, because I don't. It's very weird for me to speak it. So I think I can speak a bit of it. But it was never
because it's not your hometown. It's not your mother town. Right?
Yeah, it's not part of my heritage, right? So when I was there, people would speak in Sicilian. Sometimes you mix a bit of Italian and Sicilian, but pure Sicilian or like expression and stuff, I would not do it because I didn't think about it at the time. But now I realize just that I was uncomfortable using that very deep and traditional language that was not mine, right? But but I do speak Italian fluently, as good as my French, I expect.
Italian, French, English.
Yeah, I did learn a lot of Latin in school, because, but I do not speak it, and that is it. Don't ask me about my German. Because I do not speak German.
Yeah, I have high expectation of your German since you're here for 5 years, right?
No.
Yeah. We can minus the 3 years of COVID, then.
I mean, since the beginning of COVID, I started my YouTube channel, and so most of my energy went into that. And so, if you consider PhD life, having also a normal social life, sleeping, then you don't have a lot of time for anything else. And the little bit of energy I have and creative energy, etc., I just put everything on my YouTube channel, my science communication.
Sure.
So I try to fit German in my agenda 2 or 3 times, and I just can't keep up because it's too much work.
Yeah, but same for me. I used to really want to read the philosophical German books. I was like, wow, if I can nail it, the best philosophers, they're like written in German, right? And then I was like, but there are so many other philosophical or whatever interesting things in my life. If I really devote all my time in it, then a lot of other things I couldn't really invest my time or really enjoy. Then probably when I get really old and become a retired panda, But hope this will happen earlier, like your father. Yeah.
Well, he was not that young. He still had to work a little bit.
Sure. Okay.
You have to decide how to handle your time. Right. Our time is so short.
I know. How many hours do you sleep?
Oh, so sleep for me is the number 1 priority in my life. It's the coolest thing ever.
Okay.
And I do not have an alarm in the morning.
Huh?
No.
How do you wake up?
I just wake up when my body has done, resting.
What time do you go to bed? Also
around midnight.
Okay.
I wake up around 9 usually.
Huh.
And I take naps. And I never
during the day?
Yes.
You're like as smart as Einstein, but sleeps like triple or quadruple of his time.
I wouldn't compare myself to Einstein.
Because Einstein, he sleeps very, very short intervals.
Okay.
And then he thinks, okay, that's enough. I'll just wake up. I don't need the long 8 hours of sleep. But on top of your 8 hours sleep, you sleep like Einstein, right?
Oh yeah. That's why I have like the Einstein routine plus more sleep. So I don't know. Maybe I have the potential to be even more efficient than Einstein. Who knows?
Let's wait for that.
I really don't. But I do sleep a lot, and it's my priority number one. Why are we talking about sleep?
Because it all comes to our next question, which I don't know yet. Oh yeah. So if we want to describe your childhood or your past lives in these times you spent with your parents, how would you describe each places? Because if you're saying you don't have one hometown, but majority of people, we count our hometown is the place where we grew up with, where we spend the most time with our parents, and then we would leave our hometown behind and have our own life and own home. Yeah. So
how would I describe every different hometown I had over the years, right?
Right.
Well, the cities I lived in were very, very different. And the life I had and the person I have been in all those sections of my life were very different people. Right? So I was a kid when I was in Belgium. I was a teenager when I was in Italy. And I was studying at university when I was in France. And then when I arrived here in Germany, I'm an employee, so I have a job and I have responsibilities. Life is so hard. But
it still sleeps a lot. Life is so hard.
So,
of course, yeah. All right.
If I go to sleep, I think I have to sleep that much to be efficient. If I would sleep less, I would have more time to do stuff, but I would not be as good.
Gotcha.
But so Belgium, for some reason, so it's very personal, like image that I have in my mind.
Yeah.
So I feel like the houses are all made of bricks. Like red bricks.
Yeah.
So that's what I see. And I see also it's quite a rainy place. So I have a hard time associating sun with Belgium.
Okay.
But then the people there are like super, super welcoming.
Huh. I thought they were colder than...
Yeah, I also thought so. When I was... then I moved to Italy and like, oh no, I'm going to go to Belgium. People are cold there. And actually, no. I met again a few years ago some friends from when I was a kid, and I don't know, they talked to me like I was a brother or something. It was like very, very nice. So and when I go back there, I always think about beer, French fries, and chocolate, because it's like waffles.
Sure,
mostly beer, because I don't feel so. I'm Belgian. Well, my nationality is Belgian, but I do not feel Belgian, right? Because I don't feel like I've spent enough time there to feel Belgian. But if there's one thing that I agree on with Belgium, is that Belgian beer is very good.
I think this video will be viewed by a lot of people in Germany, or many could be Germans.
Nah, I don't think German beer. I'm sorry, people. I don't think German beer is that good. And so I never felt patriotic in my life. But if there's one thing where like,
Belgian beer.
It's
not the chocolate.
No. Chocolate's not my thing. Sweets are not my thing.
Okay.
But beer, So I think of beer, houses made of red bricks, and rain, and welcoming people. Yeah. So that would be Belgium.
That's good. Yeah.
And I was a kid, so I thought also when I think about Belgium, I think about my childhood in school.
Yeah.
And
you drank a beer already as a kid?
Yeah, obviously. How do you call like the biberon? Like the thing that you give the milk to babies?
Oh, the milk bottles?
Milk bottle? Yeah, we have beer bottles for kids.
Like with the...
Yeah, that one. You can do the ASMR now. So that would be Belgium. I remember all the snow fights we had when we were kids, which was something I never got to have
in Sicily.
When I moved to Sicily.
Yeah,
it was a very different climate.
Yeah,
I remember there, it's an interesting pattern, but every time I move somewhere, I felt like nobody knew me, and I could be someone different than before. Right? So I always use that opportunity to try to be like, oh, something that I didn't like in the previous town, like now I can be anything I want. And I remember I was very shy when I was younger in Belgium, and then when I arrived in Italy, all the attention was on me.
And then you automatically becomes more talkative,
I became
more
a clown.
social.
I became a clown of the classroom.
Yeah. Oh wow. Okay.
And that was fun. I would say Sicily. I see everything yellow in my head, and it's because the sun, but also because in the evening we lived in a pretty old town, and all the luminaires and stuff like that, they're not white. They're like very warm.
The color temperature it should be around 3,000 or 2,000 Kelvin.
And so it's every night when you go out, the whole city is yellow. So in my head, Sicily is yellow.
Yeah, I was in Tuscany last summer, and it was the football game time. No, maybe 2 summers ago. Anyways, I remember going there, it was sunny and everything. After the match, I think Italy won. And then everyone's like really enjoying it. It's a very small town, so there's no like crazy people are shouting on the streets or so. But then if you walk around, it's just this, every corner has a little bit warm light on. And then that's the Tuscany feeling. Yeah,
beautiful.
Yeah,
I really like Tuscany too. Very nice. But so yellow lights. The food is very good. They usually have this food that I'm not sure if I should say this, but it doesn't feel like a very elaborate food. Right? It's made with very basic ingredients, but it's the combination and the way they mix stuff and the way they combine stuff together to make it very, very good. And it's it's a bit like the ingredients are poor ingredients, right? It's ingredients that you can find not poor in the sense they are bad, but in the sense that you don't use like extremely expensive ingredients to do stuff, but everything is so good. Stuff from the earth, right? You just take tomatoes and rice and put everything together.
Right.
And
do you use exotic things? Because was it in Florence they have the whatever thing of the cow's stomach or so? Because I loved it. And also in China we use chicken feet, duck neck, duck tongues, duck head, rabbit head to make food.
I was talking about this today. So it's a bit weird for me to talk about it now. So I've become vegan like 1 year and a half ago, strictly. I've been vegetarian for a long time. But in Sicily, I remember this one dish, and it's from Palermo, which is one city in Sicily.
Yeah, I've been there.
And it's a sandwich, and in it you have cow's lungs.
It's not the stomach, it's the lungs.
Lungs and another.
It's pretty chewy but juicy, right?
I had a little piece of it when I was young, and I don't know.
How do you call it?
I think it's this pani camelza. Pani camelza. It means bread with milza in Italian, and milza in English is translated to spleen.
Okay.
Which I think is a pretty useless organ.
But I think that's exactly what I had in Florence. They're just called differently.
Yeah. So. Otherwise, So yellow lights. The people are also very welcoming there. At least for kids, like when I was a kid. It was harder for my parents, I think, to feel integrated, in the community. Me and my sister, we coped up with Italian very fast, but my parents were already old, so they always had an accent. Like people would always see them as foreigners wherever we went. Right? And for us, it was a bit different. We can go back to the feeling of being foreigners everywhere in a bit, But yeah, it was easier for me and my sister to feel more at home there than my parents. I don't think my parents ever felt at home when we were back in Sicily. And yeah, good food. I think it's also a very patriotic. Italy is quite patriotic.
Right.
Very patriotic about soccer, very patriotic about the food and the culture. It's very important there.
Yeah.
Religion was very powerful, very powerful value for the people in the south.
So how about your Sundays? Do you go to churches?
I do not. So I'm not religious, and I've never been. But
How
my
about
mother.
Yeah.
So my mother got baptized actually there
In Sicily.
In Sicily.
Oh,
so she was not baptized before. You know, and then she spent some time on Sundays in the church. She would meet with people. It would be also a good way of, you know, feeling integrated in the community, I think, beyond beliefs and stuff.
Sure.
And yeah, so I would go sometime because she needed company, but I was never into it. But religion is very important and powerful value there, and family also, right? So yeah. Then France is difficult because I was always there as a university student.
Yeah, but you speak Belgian French.
Yeah, it's essentially the same as French.
It doesn't sound.
No, people can't tell that I'm Belgian when I speak, except for a couple of words, like the way you count or you pronounce different.
Sorry. I need to restart again.
Okay.
Yeah. I just put 25 minutes, so we just talked 20 minutes. So don't worry.